I'll inform my audience about the wonderful ecosystem of the Great Barrier Reef and the beautiful sea life of it as well, along with informing my audience about the many harms and threats to the reef due to us and the Earth. According to Australian InformationStories.com, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef system in the world. It is a vast ecosystem that protects Australia from many harms caused by the ocean, and it has many threats to it due to humans and geographical causes. Imagine that you are an aquatic animal in the Great Barrier Reef, does not matter what, and you are swimming about having a good time. You are searching for something to eat. Now imagine that your happiness is stripped away from you without your consent. You look around and realize your home is destroyed. The Great Barrier Reef is a beautiful place and home to many sea creatures, but the reef has a lot of threats to it that can jeopardize the lives of these animals. Various articles have been researched upon to inform you as the audience the best I can about the Great Barrier Reef. One of the most important things that should be known about the Great Barrier Reef is its size. According to James G. Spite, the reef takes up an area of 133,000 miles off the east coast of Queensland, mainland Australia. Also, according to James G. Spite, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef in the world, and it is made up of around 2,600 individual reefs and 900 islands. As claimed by the Townsville Bulletin Reef Beat, some of the different habitats of the Great Barrier Reef include fringing and platform reefs, reef flats, seagrass beds, continental islands, mangroves, rock pools, lagoons, and continental shelves. There are also many more habitats and inhabitants that make up this vast amount of space. Stated by the National Ocean Service, the Great Barrier Reef, being the largest reef on the Earth, makes up 10% of the world's coral reefs. However, most of it is dying off, but some of the coral is also learning to adapt to new conditions of the ocean so they can survive. According to Ocean Conservancy, an article, An Island of Hope, states that scientists have released findings from their research in American Samoa, an especially tough species of coral that are adapting to warming waters and may be resisting climate change. Hopefully, in the near future, we won't only have one species of coral adapting, but the entire reef as a whole. However, these reefs are not here just for the looks. They also make up for great buffers for the east coast of Australia. The Great Coral Reef and its ecosystem is important to Australian coastlines because it protects against wave damage and tropical storms. According to the Mamuka Environment Society, the Great Barrier Reef structure buffers shorelines against waves, storms, and floods, helping to prevent loss of life, property damage, and causing more erosion on the coast. Even though the reef is dying off, it is still fighting, and healthy coral reefs constantly grow and repair wave damage, providing continuous protection for adjacent coastlines. When reefs are damaged or destroyed, the absence of this natural barrier can increase the damage to coastal communities and property from normal wave action and violent storms. This can be very devastating to the landowners and the population as a whole as well. But the damage caused to Australia is nothing compared to the damage done to the Great Barrier Reef itself. As stated before, it is slowly dying off, and sooner or later we will not have our Great Barrier Reef anymore. The Great Barrier Reef has many threats to it from Earth due to climate change and other natural causes, and we as humans also cause damage to the reef. According to smashtrash.ru, the reef is highly vulnerable. In the past 3 decades, it has lost half its coral cover, population has caused deadly starfish outbreaks, and global warming has produced horrific coral bleaching. Coastal development also looms as a major threat. Water population, overfishing, and coastal development are taking their toll on coral reefs at a local level as well. While carbon pollution threatens reefs worldwide and remains their biggest threat, carbon population is warming our oceans and causing corals around the world to bleach, not just the Great Barrier Reef. Bleaching is a major threat to the health of endangered coral reef systems across the Earth. This retired Navy Vice Admiral Conrad C. Lieutenant Bacher, Ph.D., Under Secretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere and NOAA Administration. According to a study published in the journal Nature, baby coral in Australia's Great Barrier Reef has declined by 89% due to mass bleaching in 2016 and 2017, allowing there to be less and less coral growing every year. Coral bleaching occurs when coral overheats. They react to the stress by expelling their algae. Global warming has caused such extensive damage to the Great Barrier Reef that scientists say its coral may never recover, and the largest reef in the world may slowly decline to becoming one of the smallest. Humans as a whole need to realize that Earth cannot fix all the problems with the Great Barrier Reef, though. We play a big role in keeping things whole. We must work to try and repair the reef as well. Most of it is caused by us, and responsibility needs to be taken. In conclusion to my speech, I have stated specific information about the reef and its many beauties and wonders of its ecosystem and habitats, and the animals who inhabit it. I have also informed you of the harms caused to it as well by global warming, climate change, and humans, and possible things we could do for our reef. Now tell me, do you believe we should try and help the reef from being destroyed or altogether, or just sit back and watch the show?